This is the Digiboy from Tama Team. Let's open the digital gate. Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy, the Digiboy here, back at it with another video. So today, I have another deck profile for you guys. This is my blackwargreymon deck profile. I actually went top 3 in my locals with this deck recently, so I was very proud of that. I finally went top with this after readjusting it, and now I feel confident enough to post it to you guys. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and as of always, for now with the deck profiles, there will be a photo at the end, and there will be the link to the deck build in the description with the deck, so you don't have to like slow down the video and look at it. So, alright, let's go ahead and get this deck let's go ahead and get this deck profile going. So first we start off with the eggs here. We start off with 4 copies of bt8 chimeramon. This is the regular chimeramon. Its effect is when attacking once per turn. If the Digimon has Omnimon, Greymon, other than Doro Greymon or Burning Greymon or Doro Greymon in its name, trigger, draw 1. So this is good because you need that extra draw with this deck. You need as much searchability and draw power as possible. So this is really good. And then we just play the 1 copy of the new bt8 greymon. If this one attacking once per turn, if this Digimon has 6000 DP or more, draw 1. So choose to run the chimeramon over the greymons, well, because obviously everything in your deck is basically has greymon in its name, so you'll be able to draw all the time without having to worry about it. So then we're gonna move on to the actual deck. Let's start with the rookies. We have 4 copies of the promo Agumon. This is the best Agumon you can possibly have in this deck because of the DP boost. It says your turn while this Digimon has Greymon in its name, it gets plus 2000. So this is the best rookie. You can start off by Digivolving on top of your Chimeramon because this gives you plus 2000 DP when you swing, enough to swing over some of the big guys with either 14k, and if you have the other Greymon, that's like 16. So which is pretty good. And then we have one of our main searchers in the deck. We have 3 copies of bt8 Agumon. Its effect is on play. Reveal the top 3 cards of your deck. Add 1 Digimon card with Greymon in its name, other than Doro Greymon, Burning Greymon, or Dex Doro Greymon, and 1 Digimon card with Omnimon in its name among them to your hand, and place the remaining at the bottom. This is the best searcher you have, the best red searcher you have. We also play the black Agumon. They're both your best searcher. It's just it's easier to Digivolve over the black Agumon than the I meant Digivolve over the red Agumon and the black Agumon because the red Agumon's red and you have more red cards than black. And since the black Agumon may be able to Digivolve over the chimeramon, but you still need a black card to Digivolve on top of it because the card itself is black. And then we have next is 3 copies of the black Agumon. The new black Agumon for bt8. They got the pre-release stamps. I actually got 3 copies of the pre-release. Reveal the top 4 cards of your deck. Add 1 card with Greymon in its name and 1 card with Dragon Cannon among them to your hand. Place the remaining cards at the bottom of the deck in any order. So this is arguably your best searcher. It's just we don't run this at 4 because, again, we needed room for more DP boosters in the deck because running 4 is not good enough because we need more because we need to be able to swing over your opponent's Digimon. But this allows you to search for a Dragon Cannon and a Greymon, so you can grab one of your blackwargreymons as well as grab a Greymon. So, which adds more cards to your hand, which allows you to complete your stacks. So this is really good. The last rookie we run is just 2 copies of the starter deck, 1 attacking Agumon. 1 attacking, when this Digimon attacks a player, it gets plus 2000 DP for the turn. So I really like this one because most of the time I do go for the attack the player. Because how my Blackboard Grey deck works is this very aggro, and it's helped me a lot. So this card has been really good because it allows me to also gain another plus 2000 off the if I didn't have the promo Agumon. Next for our champions, well no, these are our champions. Yep, we run 4 copies of the security attack plus 1 Greymon. Ooh, expensive card, 20 bucks. Lol. It's a Greymon. It says the inheritable is security attack plus 1. It's a 4k, 5 cost drop, and 2 cost Digivolution. You really need this because depending on what your matchup is, sometimes you need to be very aggro with the with blackwargreymon, able to clear out all your opponent's security and swing for game like an OTK, which I'm able to do with this deck. I'll show you guys that in a second. But this is one of the best Greymons you can have as an inheritable, and depending on what deck you want you play against, you might want to have the booster Greymon instead. But other than that, that is pretty good. Next, we have 3 copies of the booster Greymon, the one I was just talking about. When digivolving, if this Digimon has Agumon in his Digivolution cards, gain 1 memory. So this is a 1-cost Digivolution on the field, which you can Digivolve over one of your Searcher Agumons that you played if it didn't die. Then, the inheritable is your turn. While this Digimon has Omnimon, Greymon, other than Dextor, Burning Gray, or Dextor Greymon its name, it gets plus 2,000. So this get on top of the plus 2,000 you already get from the Agumons, it's like plus 4,000, making it, if you have the other Blackboard Greymon, that's 12, 16,000. A 16,000 body to swing over Digimon, as well as swing over everything else. Next champion is 3 copies of Black Greymon. This is the new bt8 Black Greymon, and its effect is opponent's turn. While you have a red Digimon in play, this Digimon gains blocker. So this is really good, trust me. This has come up so many times against like Imperial Dramon, Armor Rush, because I'm able to block, restand, and then block again, which is actually very helpful against those like really fast decks like Armor Rush. So ideally I always want to get like this Black Greymon under it if I can, if I'm playing against Armor Rush or Imperial, which you'll always be able to tell right off the bat by what they play. The next is just one hybrid, 1 copy of Burning Greymon. Yeah, you may digivolve this onto a tamer for 2 costs as if level 3 Digimon. This is just here to, you know, close off games if you have that extra 2 memory, because it's yeah, it's literally just a hybrid to close off games. The reason I run Burning Greymon instead of a Gunimon is with the Black Agumon, this is actually searchable. So it's actually possible to pick this up, which is a lot better than running a Goonie and bottom decking it when this is searchable with just the Black Agumon. Next we move on to our level 5s. 4 copies of bt8 Metal Greymon. So this one's ooh, it's shiny, sorry. It says when digivolving, digivolve one of your opponent's Digimon. And then, let's see, you can trash any more, then delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3,000 DP or less. The inheritable as well, this Digimon has Dragonkin or Machine in its traits. It can attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. The thing is with this, it's so good for clearing out boards. If you run the Secret Rare Greymon, from, I think it was like BT2, you can swing over your opponent's unsuspended with the highest DP, restand, swing, 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 clear their whole board and leave them with literally nothing, which is so good. And if you have blocker under it, if they try to bring out something from raising, you can just block it right when they bring it out, which is so good. I love this card. It has saved me on clearing boards a lot. The next card is obviously 2 copies of Chimeramon. This is obviously reasons why. It's for the DNA Digivolve, because the effect is you can DNA Digivolve 2 level 4s, so that would be restanding it, and stack it to level 4s. When Digivolving, you may place 1 Digimon level 5 or lower from your trash underneath this Digimon. I have bottom Digivolution cards. Then all your opponent's Digimon get minus 1,000 DP for each of the colors. So since the white actually counts, and if you have black and red, then you minus 3,000 DP. That basically kills off most of the rookies. And then the DNA Digivolve is so good. And then next, just 1 copy of Metal Greymon. I have this here because for my level 6 lineup, all my other Blackboard Greymons are black, so this really won't help as much, so I just run this at a 1. I cut the other one out for a Nokia, and honestly, I'm liking it. Having 7 level 5s is actually not bad. Now, next we move on to the dmegas, which are level 6s. First, we have 4 copies of the new bt8 Blackboard Greymon, obviously. In my opinion, I never picked up the alt art because I like this art better. It looks very nice for me, that Dark Gaia Force. So effect is, when digivolving, if this Digimon has a red Digivolution card, then up to any of your opponent's Digimon, and this Digimon has a black Digivolution card, up to any of your opponent's Tamers, you can pop up to a play cost of 6 or less. All turns, once per turn. When an opponent's Digimon is deleted, unsuspend this Digimon. So this is so good to have blocker under, because you can block, restand, and then block again, or if your opponent's Digimon dies in security, you can just restand this Digimon, and they are not able to swing over it. I love this card, so good. Next, we run the 2 copies of the promo Blackboard Greymon. See, this is where I was getting my OTK talk from. I absolutely love this card. I play the more aggro variant, and this is Digiburst 2 Restand. A lot of people sleep on this card, especially since it's not really played as much, but it is so good. I've been able to literally like OTK so many people with this card. Okay, so here's how I usually do it. Let me give you an example. So let's just say, you know, we hatch our Chimeramon. We have the Agumon over it. We have the security attack +1 Greymon. And just any, obviously, ideally this metal gray. And then, you know, we just digivolve into this blackboard Greymon, okay? So, what usually happens is, I've already cleared one security because I played one of the Searcher Agumons. So, I already cleared one, so I can swing for 2 checks. Digiburst 2, ideally, and draw 1 off the Chimeramon. Ideally, Digibursting Metal Greymon and Chimeramon. So I still get the +2000 as security attack +1. Swing for another 2 checks, which clears the rest because they only have 4. Then Digiburst the last 2 to restand and swing for game. You have no idea how good that is. I swear to God. It's literally saved me so many games because it's only a 3-cost Digivolution. And with the Nokias, you can like take off 2, make it 1 cost. It is literally so good, because it allows me to OTK my opponent and swing for game. That's the extra aggressiveness that this deck needs because it's a little slow. And last level 6 is just the 1 secret or a blackboard Greymon. So I run this specifically to clear boards because it's one attacking if you attack your opponent's Digimon with the highest DP, unsuspend this Digimon. I specifically run this for Armor Rush. The reason is Armor Rush has the Armor Purge ability, so if you swing over their highest Digimon, they'll Armor Purge, but that means you get to restand, because it just says swing over your opponent's Digimon, they don't have to be deleted. So then you can swing over the bottom, then swing over everything, and clear Armor Rush's Armor Purge ability. Really good. Okay, next we move on to the Tamers. We run 2 copies of Marcus Damon. So Marcus is really good. It's a memory tamer. Set your memory to 3. And one of your Digimon with Greymon in its same attacks. Other than Dexter or Burning Gray, like always from BT5, you may suspend this tamer to gain 1 memory. So that suspending, if you have both of these, you can gain 2 memory when you swing, which is so good. You get to have that extra memory to maybe memory choke your opponent to 1 by playing another Searcher Agumon. That's literally the only reason it's here. And then just the 1 copy of taikamia. I used to run 3 Marcus, but then I realized how good taikamia can actually be, because since everything else is black in my Mega Digimon, the taikamia doesn't always come up because I would like to OTK with always the other Blackboard Greymon. But if I can't, and I have the security attack +1 Greymon over the bt8 Blackboard Grey, this gives it that extra security check, able to swing for 3 checks, which will literally put my opponent to only 2 security, which is really good. And it's also another memory tamer. And obviously the most mandatory card is 4 copies of BT5 Nokia. You may play 1 Agumon or Gabumon from your hand without playing its memory cost. That's the on play. Main, when digivolving one of your Digimon into a Digimon card in your hand with Garurumon, Omnimon, or Greymon other than Dexter, Burning Gray, or Dexter Greymon is named, you may suspend this tamer to reduce the memory cost by 1. Basically, Nokia and Marcus do the same thing. Marcus allows you to gain 2 memory after attacking. Nokia will reduce the Digivolution cost. And since you run 4, you can really, if you somehow get all 4 on the field, you can literally make your Blackboard Greymons free or minus them by 2 cost, which makes them such a cheap Digivolve when you have the memory tamer putting you to 3. So now we run the options. We run 2 copies of Dark Gaia Force, the pre-release. This is such a good card because you have to have a black or red on the field, but it's worth it because it's better than the regular Gaia Force because you can choose any number of your opponent's Digimon whose place costs add up to 15 or less and delete them. So you could literally delete one of your opponent's Mega Digimon and maybe one of their rookies that are lower. So one of the best removal cards in this deck. Then we run 2 copies of Delicate Plan. Since I run the more aggro version of Blackboard Greymon, I always have to worry about the option cards and security. That's why I run the 2 copies of Delicate Plan, because I already have, like, we'll have a red tamer or a hatched Digimon or something else. Play the Delicate Plan for 1 because I reduced the cost. Because I was at 3, the memory tamer reduced the cost by like 2, make it a 1 Digivolve. Play this for 1, put me to 1, a swing OTK, and not be able to worry about option cards, which is amazing. It gets over the gets over the Dark Gaia Force if it mirror matches. Gets over Ice Wall, because if Ice Wall activates, then like if Ice Wall activates mid like thing, it gains 2 memory. And then same thing with Hammer Spark, gain 2 memory off the security, so your turn will automatically pass. You can't OTK. But with Delicate Plan, no option cards. Then I just run 2 1-ofs, 1 copy of Crimson Blaze. I really like Crimson Blaze. This card is amazing because it's to reduce the memory cost of this card in your hand by 1 for each Digimon your opponent has in play. Then delete all your opponent's Digimon with 6,000 DP or less. Your opponent can't play Digimon by effects till the end of their next turn. Security effect, activate this card's main effect. This is such a good removal. But I decided to run the Dark Gaia Force over, obviously because I have the foil pre-release one, but also because it's just a little bit better for getting rid of like bigger bodies. But this will be good in EX2 with the Galletmon deck because you'll be able to boost the deletion effect to like maybe 9 or 10k. Then just the 1-of copy of Gravity Crush. In my last deck profiles, I never played this in Jesmon because I was like, oh, it's too situational. But then the situation came up where I needed that extra 2 memory to digivolve into my Blackboard Greymon to OTK for game. So this is so good because I also run the 1-of hybrid. And if I'm at 0, I can play the Gravity Crush, go to 2, and literally like fucking swing for game with the hybrid. I'm stumbling over my words. Swing for game with the hybrid, which is so good. This is such a situational card, but the situation comes in handy. Well, that's basically it for Blackboard Greymon, guys. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and I hope you enjoyed the video. This is Digiboy, out.